मुझे इंसान के तौर पे, नॉट ओनली एक्टर के तौर पे, जब इसके बारे में मैं आपके साथ काम कर रहा था, जिससे मदद हुई है और मुझे लगा कि वो हर किसी इंसान को और आर्टिस्ट को मदद हो सकती है। जो दो बहुत अहम चीजें आपने अभी बोली कि एक तो समटाइम्स ऑन स्टेज, actors do it on stage, also off stage, and some people who don't act but act in their real lives in certain ways unveil some of their emotions. And those emotions then have a certain impact on you as human beings. As you said, that I felt smeared by all the negative emotions. And then they sort of start dictating your actions, your words, your thoughts, your speech. जो एक एक्टर के लिए भी खतरनाक है और एक इंसान के लिए भी खतरनाक है। तो what would you say about the emotions, because we have always talked about emotions? So what you're basically saying is that whole Humpy project where you worked with a few actors, you were trying to master the emotions, that how you let those immensely complex wide spectrum of emotions, let it play through you, but your primordial self, or your, as you said, the core of yourself should not get tainted by it. So how would you say how a normal human being who's not indulging into acting would understand this, like emotions and your engagement with emotions? Because I think that as something was is amazing now. It still keeps intriguing me every day, every moment.
I have no idea how to say simply, because I wish I could, but then I have to be Shakespeare to say it, you know. I have to have the ability of Shakespeare's words, which I don't have, but I would say that okay, what is coming to my mind is that Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, there is a lovely metaphor where he says that imagine yourself in the middle of the sea and you are a boat, and your boat is anchored deep down on the bottom of the sea with a huge anchor, and you will not capsize for sure, even if the most intense, even in the middle of most intense storm. If you are anchored, if that's the key word here, if you're anchored properly. So in the middle of the sea, you have your storms, mild, strong gust of wind, clear sky, moonlit sky, the fluorescent, organisms, and the whale, and wonderful blue sky, and all that. But in the storm, when the storm is there, like in our lives, when emotions happen in life, personal life, and emotions which we finally somehow manage to let those emotions flow through us in a given circumstance, means in a play or a film. So if you're anchored, then you'll enjoy both. You know that you will not capsize. That means you're trusting, you have a mechanism of the anchor.
Right.
And that anchor, which is in this case, the bottom of the sea, where you have a heavy anchor that you've anchored yourself. But in a human being, what does it mean? In a biological body, what does it mean? So that's where my mentor, Sri Dilip Shankar, who comes into the picture, that he gave me tools where through the practice of the tools, I'm like last 20 years I've been practicing and I still lose my anchor. So, you know what I mean? But I don't even know how deep the anchor has gone. I don't know, but it feels much better now than before. That's for sure.
Right.
You know? So with all my humility, I must say that I'm work in progress. So those tools which had made me access and experience a self which is beyond the emotional self. If we divide our body, like Sri Aurobindo divides our existence into mostly three: the vital, the psychic, and the physical. Maybe there is one more, I forgot. So the vital is where everything that your conscious mind and your emotions and all that. And Patanjali also says something very, very interesting, that when you are on the shore of the sea, you are captured and occupied by the dramatic waves which lashes on the shore.
Right.
But if you just take a flight and go up to the sky and you see those lashing of the waves on the seashore, is like tiniest part of the sea. But when we are on the seashore, we feel, oh my
You
God,
feel
and the sea looks, she looks, even when you are on the shore, the sea looks higher than you. You know, it goes like around, like as if it's higher. The water is higher than you. So he says that emotions are only that much, the dramatic, the
waves.
waves of the sea which lash on the shore. The emotional body is only that much.
Right.
Rest of the sea and the vastness of the sea and the depth of the sea is you.
Right.
Actually,
Right.
it somehow resonated true to me because I've experienced it without even knowing that I had in my exercises in NSD. When I was deeply concentrated and focused, it felt so good. I'm like, whoa, nobody can shake the hell out of me at all. When I did a lot of exercises which made me feel so anchored that nothing bothered me.
Shake you, yeah.
It cannot shake you, you know. The wind cannot shake you, the storm cannot shake you. But then it goes away.
Right.
After some time, like, where did it go? I have become again that chanchal, that fickle-minded. You know, you have experienced, I have experienced. We all. So how is it possible for us, for an actor, in order to stabilize, to stay stable, to anchor, to fortify, to consolidate that stability, that quietude that I felt, even more quietude and even more, so that nothing and nobody can shake me, even my emotions in everyday life, or even the emotions of Shakespearean, monumental Shakespearean intensity.
Right.
Because I think nobody, except for maybe Oedipus of Sophocles, nobody and no dramatist has written on emotions, the use of words
Mm-hmm.
that which embodies emotions than Shakespeare. I have not
Yeah.
read anybody. Like when he says that let the slave had 40,000 lives, one is too poor and too weak for my revenge. मैं उसको 40,000 बार मारूंगा तभी मुझे शांति आएगा. इतना गुस्सा, arise like vengeance from thy hollow cell, you know, ild up or love, thy crown and heart is prone to tyrannous hate and swell bosom with thy fraught for tis of aspics. I mean, nobody is written like that. No one, no, in the world, you know, about emotions. There are other beautiful compositions and writings, of course, but emotions को लेकर के शेक्सपियर का जो कहना, तो उस इमोशंस को मुझे जब embody करना पड़ा, when I was challenged to embody it, I said, how would I make sense of these emotions? I never felt so angry in my life. Like when Oedipus found out that he slept with his mother and he killed his father, how sad, I mean, what's the intensity of his state of being? I don't know, whether he's sad, he'll go bad. What would he do? Because I played Oedipus, I played Othello in NSD in second year. So I was, it is beyond my capacity. So then Khalid came in and then showed us techniques to go into the emotions, to catch hold of the thread of anger and pull it bigger, 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 and go into the point. I felt angry as if I want to throw the moon into the sun. I was so angry.
Wow.
So, and I was like, oh my God, I enjoyed it, you know. But then I realized, oh my God, it's going out of my hand because I feel that way and I enjoy it. I indulge in it. Those are the traps which you talked about. An actor falls for it, and in everyday life, and then given a space. So, coming to the point that the roadmap of going into that anchoring self, the self which is quiet, and you cannot go deep enough because it is deeper than you go. More you go, it's deeper, deeper, deeper. That means you can never get bored.
Right.
How deep you can go. You will be surprised that, or I am surprised if you're not, that after the COVID-19 lockdown, I have started working with my mentor on this dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. And I felt, oh my God, I know nothing about acting. I'm now digging into each word. In last 2.5 months, we just covered first two Krishna's dialogue, sorry, Arjun's question, Krishna, Arjun and Krishna. ये चार ही वो है 2.5 महीने में. Because हर एक दिन मैं दोबारा करता हूँ और लगता है कि ये तो और भी deep जा सकते हैं. So he has introduced a technique which I tasted it because I worked with Shopanda, but he worked with Shopanda for last 8 years and prepared this performance called Finding Shams, which is Rumi's Guru.
Right.
So the play called Finding Shams, and that's so far the most exquisite piece of performance I've ever seen in my life. And I could not speak for almost 40 minutes after the performance. I was so overwhelmed. And then I know that they're working, but they're working for last 8 years on that 1 hour piece. And till today, if you want to see, then you just call him and he will say, okay, one person is okay. And he will do it for you. So he's not announcing it.
Right.
But so the roadmap to that quiet self, I'm sort of finding a sort of, what do you call that? In a way that, oh, okay, I can anchor myself and then I can dive deep into the dark crevices of my darkness. And then I can come back. And because I'm already anchored, I just maybe have to take few breaths or maybe 1 hour of the work, the tool that he has introduced to me. And I can do that and come back, not only not get smeared, but even cleansed, even lighter, because I've shed off a lot of my darkness in the process.
Right.
I don't know, is it clear enough, this description?
No, absolutely clear, I think. And it is slightly something which we उसके लिए एफर्ट्स थोड़ा सा डालना भी पड़ेगा, क्योंकि ये बिल्कुल सोफिस्टिकेटेड चीज है जो आप बोल रहे हैं. एंड एवरीवन, ऑल ह्यूमैनिटी इज स्ट्रगलिंग विद दिस फॉर centuries. So